All right, welcome everybody to another live stream of Tabletop Junkie. And this isn't just any other live stream. This is Tabletop Junkie Workshop number 5, and we are doing world building today. Or is it regional building? We're not building the whole damn world, just part of the region. Who the hell knows? And for anyone who I do have in my chat today, thank you so much for joining me. I think the one that I did see is Colin, but I think I don't know if you're still here. If you are, cool. We're going to do... Oh. Yeah, well, I have the opportunity of doing an early stream, so I like to do streams in the morning. It's my most quietest time of the day. Very quiet time of the day. So I'm just going to go through some final checks here. I do apologize to everybody. Oh, good, it's working. All right, we'll get to that in a minute. I still got to pull up some additional things. I've had to do multiple restarts and stuff like that because OBS decided it was going to be a complete and utter dick to me today. And that's putting it, kind of out there in you know, kind of like mean terms, but it, you know, it is what it is. Oh, for God's sake. There we go. All right, cool. Now we're rocking so far. I got to check one more thing. I do apologize. Like I said, having a ton of issues, and I was like fully set up, ready to go, and wham, bam, I got completely screwed. So, yep. All right. I want to make sure my other videos are... I just got to check a setting here real quick. And, just let everyone know. I have just reached 61 subs already. So, I'm having a fun time with this. Very fun time with this. Gotta do one more thing. I do apologize. I think I just reached 62 just now. Holy hell. Yes, I did. I just reached 62. All right, so gotta keep going, guys. 63. I get more of this coming out, and we're gonna be doing a lot more than this. And I wanted to apologize to everybody. It looks like we are gonna be lucking out on... unless I can find a different software where I could build videos, piece them together, place my own audio and stuff like that. Unfortunately, the trailer for Castles and Crusades may be delayed, if not ever coming out. So the most announcements I might be able to get to do. It's all good, Colin. The best I might be able to get to do at the moment is going to be... just announcing my Castles and Crusades game starting on December 16th, 2022. It looks like we are looking at 5 players. One might still be pending. We don't know. We're going to be jumping in there, but we'll figure all that out in a minute. Today we are here doing world building. I have decided that I'm going to do world building using a small form called Hex Space Campaign Design. Is where we are going to basically be designing our world in hexes. Woot woot. Hexes. I don't know, I like hexes. Better than squares sometimes. When building a world, I prefer to use hexes, so that's what we're doing here today. So, yeah. Alright, so the very first thing we're going to do is I'm going to get things open. So, anyone who doesn't know the website, I'm going to put the website that I'm going to be using for the guidelines. It's called the Welsh Piper Tools, Rules, and Templates for Tabletop Games. This is mainly used for, I think it's mainly used for OSC games, Old School Essentials. Castles Crusades is technically OSR, which stands for Old School Renaissance, which is basically a mirror of original D20, such as anywhere from D&D First Edition to 3.5 Edition. So, with that said, let's look at some things. So, the very first step on... designing your regional area is to figure out what climate it should be. And the climates, of course, is Arctic, subarctic, temperate, subtropical, and tropical. Exactly in that order, from coldest to hottest. Subtropical is more of it's a tropical place, but it has, warmer winters, shorter winters, but hotter summers, longer summers. Whereas temperate is basically roughly equal duration. Same for subarctic. It's basically, shorter, cooler summers, but very cold during all year round. It's cold. And then, of course, tropical is hot all year round. So it doesn't matter. So we are going to toss in a few things. Very first thing we're going to toss in is figure out what our climate should be. Like I said, our climate is Arctic, subarctic, temperate, subtropical, and tropical. That's 5. I think I'm going to roll a d6. I don't know. Let's roll a d6. I was thinking about going with temperate, but then I thought, why make it so easy? I want to roll a d6 and see what we get. A 1. So that means we're looking at freaking Arctic. Arctic climate. Cold all year round. I don't know. Well, I wonder how they all got there from Eggsample. So we'll figure that one out in a minute. Alright, so now we just got to pick a primary. Now, we're going to go with Arctic, so it's cold all year round. Alright, so with that said, I guess it's time to pick a terrain. A terrain is usually water, swamp, desert, plains, forest, hills, and mountains, which is 7. We're going to roll a d8 and see what our primary terrain is going to be. And an 8, I get to choose 2. It's going to be 3. Desert. like a snowfield desert? Okay, snowfield desert it is. That's going to be our primary terrain. Okay, so now we are going to place, and this is how you would do it. You will go to the desert portion and see if I can find some snow around here somewhere. Hex snow. Here we go. I think we're just going to do this one. And I'm going to place it right here. There we go. Yeah. Let's see. What does desert say? Desert, arid land. It depends. Okay. You know, we just got this X right here. Most campaigns seem to be based around medieval Europe, which would make it temperate, so I would guess that this is the northern reaches. Technically, desert refers to precipitation, so the largest desert in the world is actually the Antarctic. That is very true. That is very true. Well, look at this. Look at what we got here. We got some desert land. Well, we actually didn't say what we were gonna. It says desert, so let's see. Sand. Yep, dry desert sand, I guess. I mean, yeah, I guess we're just going to put this one in. Technically, this would count as plains, but we're just going to count it as flat land. All right, so now we have to find our secondary, tertiary. I can't say that last word. It starts with a T, which means third. And then our wild card if we have any available. So it does say that a couple wild card hexes we could play around with is generally water, plains, hills, and mountains. Huh. Doesn't really have much of anything on that one. The one that is definitely primary is desert. So it's all wild card. So it's basically all going to be wild card. We could accept wild card very easily. Wild card everything. So, well, what a real wild card land is highly uncommon but possible terrain relative to the primary type. So, with that said, yeah. Well, how many more pieces should we have? Well, let's pick a secondary, shall we? Secondary, we're gonna roll this again and see if it's possible. We're gonna roll a d8. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, hills. What's the odds of a hill? Right there, but it's counted as wild card. All right. So we're gonna write that down. I'm going to pull up a notepad because the wild card is usually highly uncommon. And basically when you do that, it only carries over to a certain percentage of the land. So we got a hill, which counts as the wild card. Secondary. All right, now let's get our last one. So we're only going to do 3. We're probably not even going to toss in any wild cards in this one yet. We are going to do what you call the 963. The 963 means the primary land counts for 9 hexes. the secondary land counts for 6 hexes, and the third or tertiary counts as counts as 3 hexes out of 18. So we got one more we're gonna try and do. I don't know how this is gonna work. We're gonna roll that again. We're gonna roll that again. Oh, I get another reroll because it's 8. 8 doesn't count. Okay, 1. Which is freaking water. Not very likely. Okay, so we're gonna get water as a third dairy. So there's gonna be frozen water in this land. All right. So following the 932. All right, so now I got to look for frozen hills and frozen water. I don't even know if we even have frozen water. I found the frozen hills. Alright, looks like we're going to have regular water, but it's going to count as that. So 932. So we get to design this any way we want. But you might want to, like, always go adjacent. But the way they always do it is go adjacent. So the secondary would be adjacent of that up to 9. 1, 2, 3, 4... Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 6. That means I can also fill it up somewhere outside of that. So, I mean, that's one way we could do it. We could also do, you could do 9 in this direction. I mean, you would want to stay within a certain adjacent area of this. So, with that said, we're going to take, the primary will be plains. So, we're going to, so here's 1. So, we're going to, whoops, I selected the wrong one. I'm going to undo that. Alright, so we're going to do this. I'm going to do... Alright, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. There we go. Doesn't look very creative, does it? Oh, well. Well, now, and we also got 6 hills. So we're going to fill it in with 6 hills. I think I'm going to do this. 1, 2, 3. Alright, and now our next one is going to be water. Oh my, where is the water? Do we even have anything for like freaking... Doesn't look like we got anything that looks like frozen water per se. So we'll just handle... a nice side of blue. There we go. Alright. Water there. Water there. Now we're going to have water in the hills. It's all frozen. It's all... What's the scale of the hexes, by the way? The chart that I'm using is only 9 by 9, so we have 81 hexes that we could fill up. And that's about it. Well, guys, this is pretty much about it. Yeah, it's not very fun land to look at, right? I guess we could fill out some of the outer land. So some of the outer land will be areas like here. You would pick destinations on the map if it was any bigger. So here, 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 and here. Think of it as the 4 corners. So one of the things that I'd like to do when filling out the 4 corners, according to what we are seeing based here, when you want to start doing a little bit of scaling up, before we start adding in anything else, you're going to want to, like, figure out what's the odds of land everywhere else, I guess. Not sure how to really put that. Let me see what is next. Okay, so we got that. Oh, okay. Then you're going to want to roll a d12 for each of the 6 adjacent hexes. Except we're not going to do 6. We're only do 4. So I'm thinking we're not even going to do that. I'm thinking I'm going to pick and choose this one because it's kind of a shorter map. So these are, the big adjacent one here is the hills. So you want to go to the frozen hills. I'm going to make a frozen hill here. This could be anything because the hills are coming down this way. This could be anything. Since the hills are coming up this way, I'm going to want the hills here. This could be anything based on whatever you roll. So, This could be hills, plains, or water. So I'm gonna roll. A d6. So hills, plains, or plains. Basically, the center section here, hills and water. Oh, hey, Priz. Howdy. Hot Springs, Paramore version of Iceland. No, no, no. This has nothing to do with Paramore. Although, good idea, though. Actually, idea. I might have to take that one, but I don't know. Alright, so I'm going to roll a d6 here 3 times and figure out, or twice, and figure out what those lands are going to be. Alright, so, unfortunately, we are looking at the same thing. So I said, what, plains, hills, or water? 1 and 2 is going to be plains. 2 and 3 are hill. 3 and 4 are hills, and 5 or 6 is water. So it looks like booyah and booyah. Alright. So we do got some ice plains here. Alright. Alright, now, you know what? This might be water right here. There you go, because I need to do 6. So water could be these sections right here. There we go. That's actually a great idea. So we'll place water right here. And water right here. So we did do the 6 locations. Now, it is now I think our next step, using this, if I'm reading and interpreting correctly, which I'm not saying I am, we just fill in the hexes. And okay, we can fill in the hexes adjacent to what it is as long as we don't change the climate. Near the end there. Okay, alright. Well, let's figure out what we can do then. So, hills. Wildcard is normally water. Any desert land would be secondary. Plains would be thirdary, but primary is, of course, hills. So, hills in... So, we're going to work on the hills in the northern section here. Ooh, yeah. So... Alright, so now we're changing... So this is our primary for this part of the land. Now this is becoming a primary. Now we're going to work on the outer part of the land. So this is primary, secondary, and tertiary of the main land. Now we got to just fill in the rest of the white space to the best of our ability. So with hills being right here, and practically all the fuck over, we're going to see what is the odds. Okay, so it does say hills... or plains are generally thirdary. Ooh. So now we got to get a new secondary, which is generally desert or mountains. Well, let's see if we can roll for it. A d8. 7. Mountains, which is quite common for hills. All right. And then we need to come up with a tertiary for that land. Got to roll again. More mountains. I got to roll again. Water. Okay. All right. So, now given the fact that we are working in a smaller group, because we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because you want to stay around here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We only have 8. So, we already have our primary here. Now we got to split the rest of it among the remaining 8 among these. Well, obviously, land's going to carry most. So, we're going to work with, out of a 9... Oh, boy. How do we split 9? Well, primary always gets higher priority. But instead of doing 18... So, instead of doing 18, we're going to be doing 9. So, we're going to be splitting the primary in half. With primary being 9, we're going to split it down to 4 hexes. So, here's 1. And I would say we would go to, we will go, oh, for God's sakes. All right. We got 1. We go 2, 3, and 4. There we go. The next one is 6, so we'll divide that in half, so that will be 3. And I believe we got mountains for that one. Cold, frozen ass mountains, which we will call glaciers. And glaciers are generally around water, so we'll go 1, 2, and 3. And then the tertiary is water, so we will go And that only gets 3, 2 at most. So we're going to do, very simple, we can merge these together. 1 and 2. Yay, look at that. Not making much any sense, is it? Except for the hills are up north here, and we got some glaciers with some frozen-ass water. So, same goes for this section here. Of course, let's do something a bit different with that, shall we? So we have it connected to the lane here, so we should connect the lane here. So we got 1, 2, 3, and a 4. And then we got some glaciers. So I would say, let's make the glaciers a little bit up in the northern region, shall we? So we'll go, glaciers are going to count for 3, so we're going to do 1, 2, and 3. Alright. And then water only counts for 2, which we could place anywhere in this area. So I'm definitely going to do, since we got glacier there, in which kind of is like brown frozen water, we're going to do 1 and 2. Alright. Same for down here. Kind of hard when you're placing stuff on a small ass map. I'm definitely going to do 1, 2, and 3. There we go. Add in some glaciers. I think I'm going to do the glaciers on the outside here. And I get to place 2 water. Okay, it's coming together, coming together. And then, once again, rinse, wash, and repeat. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then, we are going to have some glaciers, which I'm going to just call them frozen mountains, because technically I don't really see them being glaciers unless they're near sea level or something like that. Or near water. But then again, this could just be Antarctica, which we all know the water under there is frozen. And then I just need to place 2 waters. I'm going to place them right here so that way I'm not invading on the land here. Alright, awesome. That takes care of our 4 corners. Now it's just time to fill in all this other stuff here, which the water here is going to get a bit of what's the term? Priority. So water being primary, everything is pretty much a fucking wild card unless you just want water all the way around. So we'll see what else are we gonna get for land. I get to roll 2. 7 and 6. It looks like we're looking at glacier and hills. Okay, glaciers and hills. All right, so I'm thinking we are going to put just a hill land right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. You know what? I'm just going to fill this in full of frozen ass water. Except for right here, in the center right there, I'm going to replace that with a glacier. In the center is surrounded by water. Same goes right here. Glacier and hills. Except I'm going to do stuff a bit different. Water gets priority, so we're going to merge the water right here. I'm going to add in a glacier right there. At this point, I'm just filling in. I'm not following any particular rule set. Because maybe this will be a little bit better if we do this. You know, because now we're, as you can see, we're filling in most of the map. You know, we got some bodies of water with some hills, some plains. I wonder what kind of, wonder who the hell lives out here. You know, we're going to get to who lives out here in a minute, because this is just, this is just unreal. It's like, it's a frozen tundra. All right. Now we just got to fill in the areas up here. I'm going to add water right there. No, you know what? I'm going to do a frozen glacier. The water froze over here. You got to climb that frozen glacier mountain. Wow. So it looks like there's not much that can live out here because it's in the winter tundra and it's freaking frozen. You're living on frozen ice. Okay, so let's see what is next on our sheet. So it always says a good rule of thumb, which it doesn't actually say rule of thumb. I just added that. All right, so I guess we get it to come up with minor and major encounters. Okay, so major encounters are large or multi-layer encounters, often the focus of the region. The PC's interactions with this require careful thought and planning. Oh, those are fighting. Oh, those are people that fight. We'll come up with that. Let's look at major encounters, such as settlements, fortresses, religious orders, ruins, monsters, and phenomenons. Well, oh, I guess they do have a whole table for minor and major encounters. Minor encounters. Encounters. Huh. Alright, well, I guess we get to figure that out a little bit later. I don't really care. Let's look at settlements, shall we? And it doesn't really have much for how to build in settlements. Okay, so we do need to come up with a few good things. So I say one settlement along with let's see what it says for settlements. Here we go. Alright, say one settlement with one dungeon. Alright, so doesn't really have anything on that. So we got 8 different ways we can come up with this. Actually, I think 6, because 3 are towns, cities. Oh, they're all the same thing. Okay, he just made up a rule. So let's roll a d8. So we're d8, and we'll see what kind of settlement's out here. Booyah. A 2. It's a freaking town. Isn't Hamlet or Thorpe kind of a thing? Huh. Let's see. Town, city, free city, metropolis, and city-state. Meh. I don't like this. Okay, well, I think... Let me pull up Castles and Crusades, the book, one of the books itself. I just had them up today. This one I'm going to need the Castle Keeper's Guide. And my throat is getting a bit scratchy. I'm going to drink my potion of elixir. And I'm going to look up settlements. I'm thinking it's in the Castle Keeper's Guide. I'm going to look in the index. We're going to come up with one settlement and then the dungeon. The dungeon I'm going to do on my own. That's going to be... and what I mean by that is I'm going to basically, do that off screen because I'm not going to bore you with how to make a dungeon. Plus, I want you guys to be surprised because I'm actually going to be solo playing on this map. So on this map, we're going to make up one settlement with one dungeon. There may be more. And I'm going to explain why in a minute. I've just got to find what I'm looking for real quick. And it doesn't look like I'm going to find it here. No, sir. Urban landscape. Well, let's go to 115. Oh, okay, the city. Here we go. I don't know what kind of culture lives there. It's in a winter tundra. What kind of culture would fucking live there? Excuse my language, but seriously, think about it. I wouldn't live there. Alright. Trying to... City sizes. How to build a culture. City sizes. Here we go. Thorpe, hamlet, village, town, city, and metropolis. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So let's at least be a little bit realistic. I'm gonna roll a d6 and see what we got here. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A town with approximately 2,000 people living in it. Okay, I can see that. So we're gonna place a town on one of these hexes. So I have 81 hexes, right? All right. So I'm gonna roll. So 81 hexes going from here to here. This is hex. This right here is hex 81. That is hex 1. So I think I'm gonna keep rolling a d10. Every 10 I get explodes into another d10, and then if I don't get a 10, then I know where my settlement is. Realistically speaking. 3. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Oh, here we go. So this settlement of this town trying to find a freaking town in it. Alright, looks like it's here. There we go. The town is sitting on a glacier near the edge of the map. Now, there's going to be a dungeon somewhere around here, a place for adventure, which we're going to mark with a red skull. Why? Because we can. And I like skulls. Okay. Magic bad, magic bad. Okay, that says magic bad area, so never mind, don't want to do skulls. We're just going to mark something on the map here. Oh, okay. Hopefully that reconnects. If I lose you guys, I do apologize. All right, it says it's reconnected, so we're good. On the island in the lake. Oh yeah, glacier. Yeah. Maybe they're a floating city. Maybe some scuba people in the middle of, I don't know, medieval times somehow went underneath and built the city up so it's got some good support. Who the hell knows? It's a glacier. It's a frozen thing. They got a lake right there, running water. Amen. So, we should draw some rivers, connect some of these water basins. I think, water places. I think we can do that in a minute. Let's figure out where I'm going to place this dungeon at. And it's going to be either a dungeon or a town. I'm just going to place it with something because maybe I haven't decided what it's going to be yet. So let's do it again. Another D10. And no. Yeah, I'm going to count backwards. There we go. I'm going to count fucking backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's not going to go there. So we're going to place right there is where we're going to go. Dungeon on the island. Secret passage to the town. Maybe there is a secret passage between that. Who the hell knows? Let's move on. Let's draw some freaking waterways, shall we? Because there might be some frozen waterways. You never know, right? I mean, let's think about it. We got an ocean right here. So I imagine, well, you got a body of water right here. So I imagine in order for the body of water to be supplied, it would have to somehow, and with it being right there, oh, that was crappy. There we go. We got a bunch of frozen water in the frozen hills. These are only like probably a couple inches long at most. So then I would imagine with the glacier being right there. Oh yeah, there we go. And let me see what we got here. Let me get that sealed off there. All right, there we go. There we go. All right, now we wouldn't have any water flowing this way, I wouldn't imagine, but maybe flowing this way. I like to run it across here, so maybe, yeah, since they're in a glacier, there we go. There we go, yeah. Definitely got... This is surrounded by water, so that's fine. Don't need a seaway right there. Let's see, what else we got? Definitely this one would definitely come down a little bit. This one would come down a little bit. This is probably a body of water supplied by itself. Think of it like a gigantic circulatory system. This body of water is definitely got to be connected to a larger body source. And we got a glacier. Got any glaciers over here? No. Oh, we got some right here, so I guess we'll do this, this, and this, and then this. Look at that. People are gonna freeze to death. Players are gonna freeze to death trying to make it. And that would definitely be connected to there. So, oh yeah, look at that. Yeah. All right, and then we will do this. Water always flows downward, maybe side to side. So there we go. So let's see what the map looks like zoomed out, shall we? Okay, a bit more realistic because we do have water flow. You have water flow going into different areas. So now we do have access to tiny, small points of river. Not around here, though, because I don't really see hills. But maybe, like, this would be possible. So, just some ideas. I wish I probably should have did a... Because these are shallow waters, I probably should have did this. Let's see if I can fix it. Oh, I did. Okay. Oh, cool. Look at that. It's all fixed. Doing a little bit better. All right, now... And there's a dungeon right there. Well, imagine that. So we got a river next to this town. Dungeon right there. Boats are probably essential. Alright, so that is basically a bit on map building. Woo! Let's look at some other things. We're gonna save this here. I'm gonna give this save as. I'm gonna move it to my main folder. Alright. So let's look at some other things real quick. I'm going to pull up my current... yep, here we go. Alright. So now we're going to put this away. And now we're going to go with my regular screen share. Oh wow, which does not look the greatest. So let's see if I can fix that real quick. I'm going to try and extend that all the way out. Now I'm going to lock it in place. There we go. Oh, I need to extend that as far over as possible. Oh, shit. Constant resizing here. There we go. Alright, awesome. Look at this. Yep. So we're going to talk about Sir Brian of Eggsample. We're not really sure where Eggsample is. We never really put it on a map. Maybe Eggsample is where we are because it's like, settlement. I haven't decided. It's a settlement in the Arctic. So maybe Eggsample was in the Arctic the whole time. So Sir Brian is a human knight with black hair, blue eyes, stands about 6 feet tall, with a slender build, with weight around 165 pounds. So he's kind of skinny. Sir Brian's personality of, Sir Brian is a knight of example that believes that everyone must conform to the wishes of the ruler. It is a law, and without law there is chaos. Great guy. And then, of course, his background is Sir Brian grew up in Eggsample, and Eggsample has not always been under law and order. So, obviously, he had a dream. He is like, I am Sir Brian, and I have a dream. Don't know what that was. Maybe we'll figure it out. But his origins is Eggsample, so he's from a town. And he's 18 years old, so he's barely a knight, because in Castles and Crusades, adulthood starts at 15. 3 years later, he finally became a knight. And he's got his own horse. And then we have Lia Siannodel. Lia is an elf rogue that has blonde hair and blue eyes, stands about 5'7", and an average build with 146 pounds. Lia is out looking for treasure and power and may seek to help others as long as they prove useful. Lia is from the land of the elves, which we know nothing about in this world. But she is an elf. My other one, Gimble, my gnome wizard. Gnome? Yep, I was right. So Gimble is a gnome wizard that has brown hair, brown eyes, and stands around 3 feet 5 inches, 3'5", with a stocky build of 41 pounds. He's not fat, but a little bit on the heavy side. Gimble loves his freedom and will not let anyone force ideals upon him. If they attempt to, he might just not handle it too well, but he believes freedom is the right of everyone regardless of law. Gimble has traveled to many places and never settled down any roots anywhere. His place of origin is completely unknown. And my last and final one is Henk. Henk is a half-orc bard with black hair, black eyes, and stands about 6'2", and a muscular build with approximately 241 pounds. Henk attempts to impress others really hard, as it's what he wants to do with his music. He wants to inspire whole towns and taverns. Laws do not register with Henk. He just wants to be helpful any way he can. Henk is from the mountains in the area, from an orc tribe he has long since forgotten. So his origins is lost. Hey, you know what? Henk is actually from... This is it. We got 3 people. Sir Brian, Lia, and Gimble all walked into this tavern. And this godforsaken... I mean, I'm sorry to say, but this is godforsaken land. Or in this case, whatever deity they worship is forsaken land. Okay, I mean, look at this. Who would live there? The town is built on ice. A dungeon was built in ice. There is ice everywhere. This is essentially either the northern land of a fucking world, or this is an ice age. Which does not look good. So, who knows, right? So, yeah. Well, so we talked about the players a little bit. So, I guess it's time to figure out why they came all the way to this forsaken land. And I'm going to use these characters here. Now let me hide that again. We're going to use these characters here, and I'm going to run a solo play with them to show you guys how Castles and Crusades is played. I would prefer to do it with actual players, but in some cases I don't want to come up with something additional, because once I do it with one player, I do got to do it with all players. So hopefully will be pretty halfway decent, and we'll see who survives the adventure. Well, that is everything I have for today. Prismatics, thank you for coming out and support me. As always, I appreciate you, brother. And Colin, thank you so much for coming out and checking this out. That's all I have for right now. We are now going to be getting ready to move into some Castles and Crusades solo play. So I'm going to generate the dungeon or the castle or whatever the hell that is, that location. And on the next stream, we are going to do a solo play. And I'm going to use real dice. So thank you all for coming out. I very much appreciate it. This is Tabletop Junkie telling you guys to work hard, play hard, game every blue. Have a wonderful and great day.